Hey guys, we are back with another video of things we are cooking up during this quarantine. So this video kind of came about because one of my kids wanted to have these little ham and cheese rolls that we used to make on special occasions. A lot of times we'd have them at Christmas, and it's like little ham rolls, like little Hawaiian rolls. And so part of my grocery pickup, I had added Hawaiian rolls and they were out. So I had to figure out how to make rolls, homemade rolls, so that I could make these ham rolls. So the first part of the video is us making the rolls themselves, and the second part is actually making the ham and cheese rolls. So we were given a recipe by one of my friends, and it came from, it was kind of like a mock roadhouse, Texas roadhouse rolls. And so this is what the recipe called for. So we had 1 tablespoon of instant yeast, and they wanted us to add that with a half a cup of warm water and a half a cup of sugar. And they wanted us to put that in our mixing bowl and then add honey, a 1/4 cup of honey. And so we did that first. One of our favorite brands of honey is now Cokertown honey, and it's actually local. So if you're interested, I'll put the link below in the description that gives you information about where to get this type of honey. Okay, so next we're supposed to add 2 cups of warm milk. So I just put them in my Pepper Chef cup and put it in the microwave to warm it up. So 2 cups of milk. Then we needed 6 tablespoons of melted butter, and they wanted it to be warm, not hot. Then we needed 2 eggs and salt, 2 teaspoons of salt. So they wanted us to mix all that together next. Okay, the next thing we were supposed to do is add 1 to 2 cups of flour and mix with the paddle on your mixing bowl. And so I used White Lily bread flour this time, and you're supposed to continue to mix it until it's the consistency of pancake dough. Okay, next they wanted us to take off the paddle attachment and change that out for the hook attachment, and then continue to add the rest of the flour. So we had 8 cups, we've already put in 2, and let that mix until a soft dough starts to form. So the next thing says to knead for 5 minutes, and so I started kneading in my mixer, and it started coming out of the bowl. So I ended up taking it out and kneading it on my counter for about 5 minutes or a couple of minutes. It had been kneading in the mixer for a while, and so I just kneaded it a little while longer on the counter. They wanted us to place your ball of dough on a floured surface. It could be a cutting board or just a regular surface, and let it rest for about 10 minutes. So next they wanted us to take that ball of dough and put it back inside your bowl. I actually cleaned it out just in case. And then they wanted it to have oil in it. So I just sprayed some of the canola oil spray, and placed it in that bowl. They wanted us to cover it and let it rise for 1.5 hours or until it doubled. So I actually took a video to make sure that it doubled in that 1.5 hours, and I think it did. They also wanted us to punch it in the bowl for just a few seconds. Okay, so next they wanted us to take it out of the bowl, put it on a floured surface, and put a little bit of flour and roll it out into whatever consistency, whatever thickness you wanted. And I was trying to mimic the Hawaiian rolls, and so I tried to make mine about this thick. And so we rolled it out with a rolling pin, and then they wanted us to cut it in squares. So I just used a pizza cutter to cut mine, and I had so many squares of rolls. I think I might have had 4 pans full. And so after I cut them, they wanted you to put it on a grease pan, and so I did put it on there, and they wanted you to let it rise for another hour. So we did that. Okay, so after they were resting for another hour, covered up, then you could bake them in your oven. So we did 350 for about 20 minutes. I could tell that they had risen a little bit more when they were in their squares. And so we put them in the oven and we baked them for about 20 minutes. And when they came out, we put a little of our Simply Natural Creamery butter on top. Oh my goodness, they were so good. My kids were playing, and I would come out and bring them like a roll, and they're like, oh my goodness, these are so good. And then I would bring them one more, like trying to spread them out. I just wanted to make sure they were really good before I continued to bake these. So we had about 4 pans of these square rolls, and they were really, really good. Okay, so after we had our rolls completely done, we decided to make these ham and cheese rolls. Now normally we use Hawaiian rolls, but we didn't have any, so we were using our homemade rolls. And most of my rolls in the beginning were about double the size of Hawaiian rolls, so we're basically getting 2 out of each one. So what we did is we sliced those in half, and then on the bottom of each roll we put ham, and then we put a half a piece of Swiss cheese on top. I had 2 different kinds of ham. I had honey ham and I had black forest ham. We just tried to see if there was one that was better. And I mean, most of my kids were just like, it's just ham. And so, I think it's just a preference of what you like better. So we put a slice of ham, and then a half a slice of Swiss cheese, and then we put the lid back on the little sandwich roll. Okay, so next we made the sauce that we're going to pour on top. And so we had a stick of butter, we melted that. Then we had a half a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. We had 1.5 tablespoons of mustard. And then 1 tablespoon of onion flakes. And then we mixed all that together. And I put it on the stove and let it heat up just a little bit because I wanted to go ahead and get it warm so it would warm up the rolls and so everything wouldn't be cold going into the oven. Now, normally some people put poppy seeds in theirs. If you like poppy seeds, the recipe calls for 1.5 tablespoons of poppy seeds. So if you like poppy seeds and want to add those, feel free to add those to your recipe as well. So we had about 12 of these really large rolls. So I think that would equate to about 24 little Hawaiian rolls total. So after we made the sauce, then I took my little basting brush and I dipped it in the sauce, and then I put it on top of each one of our rolls before we put them in the oven. Okay, so after we had our mixture on top, then we put them in the oven, 350, for about 10 or 15 minutes. They had just come out of the oven not too long ago, so they were already warm, and then we had the warm sauce on top. So it was probably more like 10 minutes. Really, it was just to let everything get warm and to melt the cheese. And they were delicious. Everybody loved these ham rolls. Even though we didn't use Hawaiian rolls, they still loved them. The homemade rolls were a big hit. Okay, well, that's it for the recipes that we made today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And I just want to say, in case we don't post a video on Sunday, to just happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And even those who are not mothers but take care of us all the time, we also want to say thank you to you also. So you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Y'all be safe. I need a big grip. That's a wrap.